How are y'all? I am so excited to sit down with everyone again. Thank you for joining me for episode 118 of the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane, and one of these days I'll have a fancy screen that gives you all of the places that I am and that you can find me. But for now, I am DBB Stitch on Ravelry. I'm Suburban Stitcher on Instagram. Those are the two main places you can find me. And you're either watching me on YouTube or on iTunes. So thank you so much. Show notes when I do them, because it's not every time, I must confess. When I get all of those done, it is on my website, which is suburbanstitcher.com. And you can find my shop on Etsy, Suburban Stitcher. So pretty much Suburban Stitcher is everything, literally and figuratively, right? Whew. Okay, so I am on second cup of caffeinated tea for the day, which is totally necessary. I have just spent the last little over an hour editing some video and getting just super excited to talk to you about my regular podcast, but then I've also been editing an interview video from the Hill Country Weavers retreat, the Knitting in the Hills retreat that I attended last month. I had the wonderful, amazing opportunity to interview the teachers, and I have just... March was a lot of life and a lot of busy and business and lots of things, and so I'm just not getting that up, that will air or has already aired by the time you're seeing this. So if you haven't watched that episode, I do encourage you to go on over there. It's a really fun interview with Susan B. Anderson, Carson Demers, Ann Budd, Bristol Ivy, and Christina, I cannot remember your last name, from Ravelry, and it was just an amazing interview, so I do encourage you to go check that out. Okay, so let's talk knitting. I have been knitting a lot. I do have quite a bit of progress on some things to show you. One, and I'm not going to show too much other than just mention that I have been working on it, because I mention it every time and I really am getting very close this time. So this is my snow melt shawl. It's still getting big. The yarns are my hand-dyed yarn and Marigold Jen hand-dyed yarn, both in the same base. It's a 70% superwash merino, 30% silk, single ply fingering weight yarn. I am on the last clue, the last little section, and I'm, of course, in the middle of a row because these things are so long. I do end up putting them down quite a bit. But you can see this last where there's a lot of gray. It's the last little kind of lace section. I'm over halfway done with that, and then it will be like 4 rows of a contrast color and a bind off. So I'm so close. I will show you why I haven't just totally committed to this in just a minute. But it's still getting worked on. Really, a couple of rows a day is about all that happens on it, but 2 or 3 rows a day, it will eventually get done, hopefully by the next time I record. Wouldn't that be awesome? So that is my snow melt shawl that is no longer a mystery. I have been working on my Poor Provincial Town socks, and I want to thank everybody who pre-ordered that yarn. I am so excited. That's going to be winging its way to you probably with mail with the long holidays and everything for the Easter weekend. Probably it will be Monday before the mail picks it up. But anyway, so here is my first sock. I did put in a contrast heel. This yarn is the lovely Danny, who's One Twisted Tree, and I'm just was so happy to throw this heel in. This was a colorway that she designed for a collaboration that we did last year with the Prairie Girls and Suburban Stitcher, and I can't remember, Girls Night Out maybe is what it was called, but it's this really pretty purple that mimics the purple and red in this yarn that I dyed. So I think it was a very good choice to go with it. This is Poor Provincial Town. And so you can see it does these little mini striping things with speckles in between, and the speckles, sorry, I'm trying to get to the best light here. There we go. On the top of the screen there, you can see it a little better. It's got some really pretty like chartreusey greens and purples and magentas and some brown specks in there too. So that's the first sock. I am almost like 4 more rounds until I get to the heel on the second sock. So I'm moving along quite nicely with these. I did knit most of this, well actually I think I cast on the toe at DFW, so I knit all of this while booth sitting and visiting and everything over the weekend at DFW Fiber Fest, which I will also talk about at the end. And I love that I put the heel for that, the Suburban or the One Twisted Tree yarn this was the bag for that kit, and I just realized that, so that makes me even happier with my Suburban was kind of the pinks and greens and blues outside, and then the prairie on the inside, which was just really fun, tongue-in-cheek thing to do. I thought it was very clever. So that I have worked on. Let's see, I did work a little bit on my Je T'aime socks. So you have seen the first one. This is Mustache Yarn Je T'aime. This was another kit that I did with her a couple of years ago. Lots of pinks. I added an accent heel in this one as well. This is Colorful Eclectic in the I Believe in Pink colorway. And I have, let's see, so this one is the toe and a little bit of the leg. I had intended to knit on this at DFW, and it was not a colorway that was available. And so rather than sit around and tease everyone with my knitting that couldn't be purchased there, I teased everybody with my own yarn instead, which no one asked about it, so it was fine. And that is in a lovely yarn parlor bag. And I love her bags. I absolutely love, because her themes are just so stinking cute. So I love that one. Let's see what else I knit on. I did knit on my little sample cowl. I knit on so many things. I feel like it's been 3 weeks since we spoke. So I have done the Spanish Moss, Bourbon Street Blues. This is Peach Tea, which, oh my gosh, I'm in love with. And I have just started, you can see the very, very few first 2 rows of the blue, which is Haint Blue. So it's sort of that, it's really not periwinkle, it's not a lavender, it is blue for sure. It leans a little green. So parts of it are sort of periwinkle looking, but then there are definite parts that are like a dark greeny blue. So I don't really know how to describe it any other way than that. So it's just blue. That's how you describe it. It's blue. So that's still coming along. Eventually that will get finished, and you'll see that for sure in the Zombie Knitpocalypse booth in Rochester, Minnesota this summer. In the Zombie Knitpocalypse booth. The Suburban Stitcher booth at Zombie Knitpocalypse. The last thing that I have been knitting on that has been taking, quite honestly, a lot of my knitting time, and I'm completely obsessed with it and could not be happier. I love this project. So let me talk about the yarn first. I am using 2 colors of 716 knit. This is yarn that I purchased last year at Zombie Knitpocalypse, and I am most definitely knitting with it in order to get points for for the House Color Wars for the retreat. So here is the shawl. I'm knitting the current Romy Hill mystery shawl, and I'm keeping up with it. There's 3 clues that are out, and I just finished clue 3 yesterday, so I'm doing amazingly well. I will show you the yarn first, so that if you do not want to be spoiled, then you won't be. But this is my kind of main colorway number 1. And this is, let's get that right there. That's the best color representation of that. That color is called Winning Friends Through Telepathy. And it's a very pretty kind of aqua green with lots of neon speckles. And the second colorway is a highlighter hot pink. Whoa, that's going to blow that out for sure, but that's about how bright it is. Tonal highlighter pink, which sounds like an oxymoron. And it is called Anna Nicole Thinks You Look Tacky. I just love her colorway names. So that is that. That's how they look together, which I think works totally well. And obviously, I've done a lot more knitting with that one. And so if you are doing the mystery and you don't want it to be spoiled, then look away. But this one, it doesn't have a name yet. It is, I think she names hers after the fact. I'm almost positive. So here is the shawl. I have done clue 1 is kind of most of this section. And there's a little seed stitch section right there. I love the kind of pearl garter ribs that sort of break up the different sections. I absolutely love it. Put that over here. So the second clue mostly was this lace. Gosh, and that's really just blowing it out. Sorry. The cool thing about that section is it is short rowed. So you can see that there's just a little bit on that side, and it is much wider on this side. There's a good view of that. My gosh, it is hard sometimes to show off. Okay, so there you can see the lace, very pretty, simple. Short rows in a lace on this shawl were super easy. You didn't have to pick up the wraps. They blended into the pearl bumps above them, and that is brilliant. And then I just finished the 3rd section, which went back to even knitting. And I am in love with this textured lace section right there. Absolutely love it. So I'm really thrilled with how this whole thing is turning out. I did just yesterday put it onto some 40-inch needle. Finally, I was knitting onto 24-inch, which was really squishy. But so now you can see this side is definitely longer because of that short row section on the side. But you can get a general idea for how it's looking. And I'm just so stinking excited to have this one. It's going to be so pretty. And it is a kick to knit. I mean, literally every single row is fun. It's exciting. I'm absolutely loving it. So that is that. If you just want to do some fun lace knitting that feels like it literally flies off your needles, that is a very, very good shawl. I can't speak for the rest of it because I don't know what it looks like, but clues 1 through 3 have been pretty epically awesome, in my opinion. So that's it for the knitting. I haven't finished anything lately. That's okay. I do have a couple of needle adjacent things. First up is my April Desert Vista Dye Works socks. It's part of her Alice series that I won last year, the entire 8 skeins, because I came up with the idea to do an Alice Zombie in Wonderland. So she gifted me 8 skeins of yarn last year. So I'm knitting my way through those, a lot of them this year. And I knitted Alice, the Alice one last year. This is the second one that I am going to work on, and this one is called Zombody Are You? So like, who are you, for the caterpillar. And yeah, so I will be casting that on soon. And then I will also be dyeing up yarn in the next week or so for a sweater project that I'm really excited about. I'm knitting along with my friends Shayna Lines. I call you Shayna Lines, that's just who you are. Shayna and Sarah Mizashu, and we are going to be knitting a speckle fade boxy. And so I'm still working out the colors in my brain for how I'm going to be doing that, but I will be dyeing my own yarn so that I can have that as a shop sample and something fun just to have that I dyed the yarn for and can wear, which is kind of awesome to me. So the last the next section that I'm going to talk about is the DFW Fiber Fest. It happens every spring, usually the week before or the week right after Easter. This year it's the week before, and it's my favorite show of the year. I mean, it really truly is. I get, as far as vending festival shows, I love the retreats that I go to, but that's sort of in a different category. But as far as shows, DFW Fiber Fest is by far my favorite show of the year, and I've been to many now, and I just love it. I love the people, I love the energy, there's something about it. It's really great. This was year number 11, I think, or no, year number 12. And if you have not been, it really truly gets bigger and better every year. The teachers are amazing. It's just a wonderful place to be and a great weekend to spend. So I especially love that it's one of the few times a year that I really get to hang out with Stacy of Mustache Yarn and spend some time with her. In my knitting friends that I know in real life that I really get to hang out with and spend time with, she is on that list, on that short list of people that I really just treasure my time with her. And so I'm really blessed to be able to call her a friend and get to visit. So that is just always a great time. And having friends that are in the business and getting to bounce ideas off of other people also is really exciting. If you're a business person and you know that, then that's great. So I got to meet so many of you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello and hugging and all your kind words. It was just amazing. I did purchase, oh my gosh, excuse me. Whew. I really purchased almost nothing. I made one trade and a few, like one little purchase. Or 2 little purchases actually, but I spent less than $100, which at a fiber festival is sort of amazing. Okay, so I am going to be knitting my boxy on size 4 signatures, and I've had the needles for a while in another project that I'm still wanting to finish, but I just have not put the time into it. So I bought a second cable assembly for my size 4 signatures and some stitch stoppers. So that was one really exciting purchase. I talked myself out of about 7 other pair of needles and just decided that what I have right now is going to be just fine. I'm going to make it work. So instead of purchasing a whole new set of needles, I just purchased the second cable, which I'm very happy with. I traded, which is one of my favorite parts of yarn festivals. I made a little trade with Robin of October House Fiber Arts, and I've purchased from her in the past, but she picked out a very pretty light blue linen bag that she wanted, and I picked out this beautiful skein of peachy pink sock yarn. This is on our Sojourn sock, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base. So it is the same as my sock yarn, 4-ply, 75-25. Super soft. She does pastels better than almost anyone I know. She's an amazing aesthetic that I love. And so this colorway is called Camellia. And I think it's beautiful. Somebody's texting me. It's Joanne's telling me my coupon for the day. So are you on the Joanne's text alert thing? You can get text alerts and figure out special coupons sometimes. Pro tip. That one I don't care about because it's a filling up your Easter basket one. And we're not doing big Easter baskets this year. So anyway, so this is Camellia by October House. And it's beautiful. I love it. I love this section right there where the peaches and the pinks just sort of come together. It's just beautiful. Yeah, that's kind of my jam. I am loving that right there. Just so beautiful. So thank you, Robin, for wanting to trade. She asked me if I wanted to trade, and I was like, yes, please. Thank you. So I got that skein of yarn, and then I purchased some mustache yarn because when you're in the booth all weekend, it's really hard not to. So Stacy and I traded. She got some whip minders, and I got a little bit of yarn, and then I purchased some yarn. So I purchased Dark Side extended play version. So this is the Dark Side of the Moon that has the big wide rainbows in between. These are for Jack. He saw this yarn after the festival last year and was like, Mommy, I want socks out of that. And of course it was like 2 days after DFW last year. So I knew I had to get this for him this year. So I got that. And the other great thing that Stacy does at festivals is she takes the kind of the end of her warps, the end of her repeats, since they're not full 100-gram sections, and she sells them as partial skeins, which, depending on how big your foot is or what you're doing, could be more than enough to make a full pair of socks. And they are still matched in the OCD, like the OCD way, so that you get enough yarn to make, you get 2 perfectly matched half skeins. So all of these, even though they're short skeins, they are still what she calls her must match, which means that it's the 2 half skeins that will perfectly match. So I got the Be Mine, which was the lovely Valentine's Day colorway. This is 60 grams. And so it's 60 grams. And then I also picked up the mini skein that goes with it, the Conversation Hearts. And this has been all over the internet, so I'm sure that you have seen it. So between these two, I have 60 grams of the main color and 20 grams of the mini, which is more than enough. Usually my full socks are anywhere between 65 to 70 grams. So this is going to be more than enough really for me to make a full complete pair of socks. I will do a contrast heel and toe for this pair, just because I can, and then I'll probably just knit to the end for the leg. And I'm going to put this little mini skein in here so that they're together. So I got that, and then the last skein that I got from her was another partial skein, and this is one that I just really, really wanted all last fall when she came out with this in a kit, and I just kept saying, no, I'm not going to get it. And so I'm so glad that she had one there. This is 79 grams for her short skein, 79 grams. And this is her apple picking colorway. So it is grays, and then there's big kind of rainbowy, but not traditional rainbow, just lots of colors of big wide stripes in between. And this is just my jam. Like, I feel like this is sort of my soul, is gray with lots of color in between. Maybe not my soul, maybe just my color aesthetic. But I just loved that one. And this is 79 grams. So again, I can make really for me a full pair of socks. And I may do a contrast heel just for fun. But yeah, so really excited about that. So that's my stash acquisition from DFW. It is not big or fancy. I'm really crossing my fingers. Next year, I am applying to have my own booth at DFW next year, which is exciting and thrilling and frightening all at the same time. It is a super, exceedingly more and more a very hard show to get into as a vendor. So I'm crossing my fingers that I have something that the show is looking for. So I'm really excited about that possibility. And all of y'all can cross your fingers for me because that would be really, really great if I could get in. I love that show and I would love to support it by being a vendor. And if y'all are watching, board members, I love you. But y'all know that anyway. Okay, so let's see. I got to meet the lovely Rick, and I don't know how to say your last name, at DFW from Whimsy Stitches, and he sent along a really awesome giveaway that we're gonna just put on this website, this podcast for this week. I haven't done just a random giveaway in a while, and so we're gonna post that up this week. And this is for, let's see. Okay, so Rick, I really cannot even guess how to say your last name, Rick. I'm so sorry. So I'll put it right there. And this is his business card. He lives in New Orleans, which I love because that feels like home to me. And his business is Whimsy Stitches. And he sent along this really great clear tote with the rainbow accents. It's got the D-ring and the lobster claw attachment. I'm not going to, cinch this all up because I don't want it to not look as cute as it does right now. But I just love this whole thing. I just love the idea of this. You can see your project. You can see your project through there, which is fabulous. It's a nice, generous sized bag. So you could easily put, I would say you could put a 2 skein shawl in here. Let's see. Here's 2 skeins. My 2 skein shawl. Oh, yeah. For sure socks, but there's a 2 skein shawl, and it would easily close. So, really nice bag. The clear is, something different than you see all the time, and so that's really, really neat. Rick was a super sweet guy, and I'm very happy to support his business. And then he also sent a coordinating DPN holder, needle cozy. Everybody has their different name for them. He calls it long. This is a long needle cozy. So, so super cute. So I will put a link, a new thread in Ravelry for this giveaway. And I will just ask that you go over to Rick's shop on Etsy, I believe. Let's see, whimsystitches.com. So I will link to his shop, whimsystitches.com, and I will link over there. And if you'll just tell me what other items in his shop that you like. So whether it's these clear bags or whether it's a totally different product that he makes, let's just all go out there and discover some new things that we haven't seen before. So that is an exciting giveaway. That is super fun. And then I do have a few stash acquisitions that came in that I do want to talk about that are not DFW related. So I may have done a little bit of birthday shopping. May being the operative word. I'm not committing to that. So I just have so many lovely things that I want to show off to you. So the first thing that I want to show you is this amazing, super cute bag that I treated myself to. This was a birthday gift to myself, and I'm not gonna lie, it may or may not have been influenced by the fact that it matches my yarn choice for this month in color and in theme. So this is Alice in Wonderland, the Caterpillar Zombody Are You colorway. This is Rifle Paper Company. Gosh, there's just really not a good way to show this without being in the weird light. Rifle Paper Company fabric with the Tea Party for Alice in Wonderland. The bottom is a really pretty sort of denim-y looking, looks like a cotton linen blend, similar to something that I've used. And this bag comes from Sugar Tots. I love her little logo there. She's got the little tags. This is a leather, sort of a suede leather little pull that she puts on her zippers. Super nice. And it has the, oh, I also love the lining. It's like a denim matching coordinate. And it is the padded, like the quilted fusible fleece, which is nice. And I also purchased, because I saw these, I've seen these like for months. I've literally had this in my cart for months and haven't checked out, and I just finally decided to treat myself to it. So it is a little pink narwhal with a silver sparkly horn. I just love that. I think it's so sweet, because why wouldn't you want to be the unicorn of the sea? I've recently discovered my love for narwhals. Didn't even know it existed before now. And she put in some tea because, of course, with a teacup bag, you need tea. So I purchased that from Sugar Tots. Super great service, and it's beautifully made. I purchased a skein of yarn, and I am going to open this up because I want to take it out of the bag so we can all enjoy it. I haven't even opened these yet. So if there's some crinkling, I apologize in advance. But I purchased this skein of yarn from Jessica of Peach Queen Yarns. And y'all know that I have been recently obsessed, as many of us are, with the Beauty and the Beast. And this colorway just, if I had to interpret this character, this is exactly how I would have done it. So I just saw her yarn, and I really just loved how she interpreted this character, so I wanted to get it. But this is her Mrs. Potts colorway, so it is a really pretty soft lavender with speckles, and I just love all the speckles and the really pretty colors there. Yeah, this is on her Manny sock, which is 80/20 superwash merino nylon, 100 grams, 400 yards, and it's Mrs. Potts. And because she is so super sweet, she sent 2 more things and said that I could keep one and give one away. And I know what I'm keeping, and I know what I'm giving away. So this skein, because I almost bought this one and then didn't, so this is the one I'm keeping. Sorry. So the skein that I am keeping is also, I think both of these are Beauty and the Beast colorways, actually. This is on her Sparkle sock, which is extra fun. And this is the Girl and the Rose. So this is Belle, and then it's got the red for the rose and the green. Super pretty. I just think it's really fun. And this is on her Stellina base. You can see that. Manny Sparkle sock, yeah. Superwash merino nylon Stellina. Looks like silver Stellina to me. And the skein that will be a giveaway is her Stealth Striping yarn. So it's in this fun, and this one is called No One Knits Like Gaston. So it's got the blues and reds and golds and browns. Is that a brown or a black? Looks like a black, actually. Really perfect interpretation, I think, for Gaston. Very fun. So this will be a giveaway. I we'll probably, let's just go ahead and do 2 giveaways this week. Why not? So let's put this one up in the thread as well for, I'll just link over to her shop, and if you will go in there and tell me what things that you like in her shop. Peach Queen Yarns, and she does a lot of Disney inspired colorways, and they're super sweet and super fun. So I know that y'all are going to have a blast looking at her shop. The last thing that came in the mail, and I want to pull out the card and make sure that I am doing this correctly because they gave me some instructions that I don't want to mess up. Okay, so the lovely Kristen and Janice over at Queen City Yarn contacted me, and Kristen said that she had been kind of throwing around a colorway in her brain for a while that that she thought I would like, that just reminded her of a Suburban Stitcher colorway, and wanted to send me one. And who am I to turn down yarn? So of course, thank you. So this colorway that was Suburban Stitcher inspired is called Dirty Ballerina, which I kind of love the name. So this is on their MCN base. It is some pretty kind of a gray, lavenderish gray tonal background with purples and pinks and grays, which is pretty much awesome. So it's the MCN 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, 435 yards, and the colorway is Dirty Ballerina. You can find them on queencityyarn.com. And they are even more generous than just sending me a skein. They have offered a coupon code for us. So there is a coupon code Suburban Stitcher for 10% off of any order that expires at the end of May. So you have a month and a half to use that. And that again is code Suburban Stitcher, capital S for both of those. And expires May 31st, 2017. So here, and they said it says for my next order, but they have told me that I was allowed to share this code. So I'll put this in the show notes somewhere. And let's see. All right, so that is that. I think that might be it. The last thing I want to do is sort of do some shop update news. I have updated, sorry, I'm leaning over to try to find all my stuff out of the big pink show bucket. I have updated the shop with all of the remaining items from DFW, and many of you have discovered that and purchased some, so thank you so much. I have a huge number of whip minders, just tons of fabrics. None of them match any bags, but if you're just looking for fun, I'm just going to show you a few things here. I mean, there are really so many. These little rainbow puppies are super cute. Let's see, we've got camping themed. And this one is sort of like, I don't even remember what I called it, like vintage manly hipster stuff. This is pretty, this gray and yellow. Little kitties. And then I have this, like, these are really funny. These, like, moody cats. Crack me up. So there's, as you can see, there's just a ton of variety of whip minders. So those are in the shop. And then I have... Okay. So I'm just going to kind of go through a few of the things that I know for sure are still in there. I have some Love Zombies. I have some of these. I have the Fruit Stripe Gum, which, oh my gosh, so cute. I have a rainbow bag. I have some of this really pretty Rifle Paper Company, kind of vacation themed. So if you're going on a cruise or a beach vacation, that would be perfect. I have one alpaca bag left. I have some carrots. I have one chicken drawstring. It's a mini drawstring. I have one sort of like folk animal, chickens and pigs, and this is a mini drawstring. I really like the lining on that one, super pretty. I have one shawl-sized coffee zip in there. This one's pretty fun. I think that's it. So there are still a handful of ready to ship bags that are in there that I can get out. I'm leaving town tomorrow, so if you purchase it tomorrow, it won't go out till next week. But they are ready to go, ready to ship within, 2 business days, really. So I thank y'all, as always, so much for tuning in. I'm just thrilled to have had a wonderful weekend at DFW, thrilled to spend time with y'all. Next week is sort of back to the real world since I have a short week in between festival and Easter break. Excuse me, where I'm going home to Louisiana to eat lots and lots and lots of crawfish. So I just will hit the ground running next week and cannot wait, actually. I'm so excited. So thank y'all as always. Make sure you go over to the Ravelry thread to enter in for the couple of giveaways that we're going to have this week and support those new vendors. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.